Hey everybody, welcome to episode 11 of the Nerd Herder Show. I'm Nick.
I'm Rich.
And it's the start of a new week.
Yeah, new week.
New opportunity, a new chance to disappoint them.
Yep.
So if it's your first time watching, great week to start off. We have a lot of good stuff in store, I think.
It's going to be a big week.
It's a big week.
A lot of stuff to talk about.
No shortage of stuff. So every Monday we start off the week with some news. We do our top 5. One of the two of us chooses 5 stories from the past week that we thought were the biggest ones. And this week it's Rich. He chose the 5 stories. I have no idea what he chose.
You do not.
And he is going to go through them now. So what do we got? What's our top 5?
Alright, so the first one we're going to talk about here, according to an entry in the Australian Classification Board, Platinum Games is working on a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. On the classification, I think it's certification board. It got rated. It got rated on Australian rating board. I believe it was rated M in Australia, but they're a little bit harsher on ratings. I think M is like 15 or something there. Activision is noted as the publisher, but there hasn't been an official announcement or confirmation yet. Thoughts?
I hadn't heard of this.
Okay.
Platinum Games has done what?
They did the Bayonetta games. They recently did that Transformers Devastation game, which was decently received. The Legend of Korra game, which wasn't well received. They're working on the new Star Fox. They did a lot. They had a long run. I think it was them and Sega that did a bunch of stuff for a while there.
So there's a great history of Ninja Turtle games.
Yes.
Early on, the original few games that came out, you know, I always think of Turtles in Time. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
I put a lot of that NES one too.
Yeah. There's some really good old school beat 'em up, team based, side-scrolling adventures. So anytime they're going to say that there's a new one coming out, I'm going to be pretty excited about it. That said, it has always been a dream of mine that Rocksteady, the developers of the Arkham games, would do a Turtles game.
And that was rumored too at one point.
Yeah, it was something. I remember talking to after they did that first Arkham game. Immediately, me and some of my buddies were like, "What if those guys did a Turtles game?" And then it became a rumor, and we were like, "Oh my god!"
Like that would be.
And it hasn't been heard of since.
Yeah, it kind of died out.
But that new Transformers game, Transformers Devastation. One of the cool things, I mean, I haven't played it, I probably never will, but one of the cool things about seeing the gameplay footage was it did look very true to the 1980s cartoon. Yeah. So I wonder what era of Turtles they're going to go for. Are they going to go for the new Nickelodeon show?
Because most of the Activision stuff that's come out recently has been based on the new Nickelodeon stuff. So I don't know. But it's Platinum, so
I mean, it'll still be fine. I'm a fan of that show.
Yeah.
I would love...
I'd love a black and white.
That would be the ideal situation. That's what I always wanted from Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Do a gritty, original B&W TMNT. But I don't know. It could be good.
Yeah, we'll see. Platinum with their I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They're not, their licensed IP is hit and miss. Korra was very poorly received, which
is disappointing. I love that show.
And then Transformers has decently. It wasn't great, but I think it was pretty decently received. So we'll see. They've got a lot on their plate, though. I mean, they're doing a lot. So we'll see. Sarah, you can take a drink. I just said we'll see if you're watching. So the next one on here is this one you actually brought to my attention. So you do know this one. Well, you might not know it's coming, but Steven Spielberg has said that he will not recast Indiana Jones. Here's the direct quote from him. "I don't think anyone could replace Harrison as Indy. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's certainly not my intention to ever have another actor step into his shoes in the way there's been many actors that have played Spider-Man or Batman. There's only going to be one actor playing Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford."
So it's been rumored for a long time that even I think before the acquisition that one day they're not going to never make an Indiana Jones game or movie again. It's going to outlive Harrison Ford. And then Disney bought Lucasfilm, which wasn't just Star Wars. They got the rights to Indiana Jones as well. And so it's been a rumor for a while now that, you know, we've heard names bandied about, like Chris Pratt's going to be the new Indiana Jones, or Bradley Cooper, or whoever. And now recently, we talked about it a few episodes back, rumors of a fifth movie with Ford. And here's the thing, like, Steven Spielberg obviously has probably as much clout as anyone can have in that industry. And if he doesn't want something to happen, maybe he could just make it not happen. But at the same time, if Disney and Lucasfilm want to make this movie, even Steven Spielberg can't stop Disney from making the movie. With that said, the head of Lucasfilm currently, Kathleen Kennedy, the president of the company right now, is Steven Spielberg's longtime producer. I don't think she would go against his wishes.
No.
So, will we at any time soon get a remake with somebody else playing that role? Maybe not, but I think what we will get is that fifth movie. And we'll get that fifth movie with Indiana Jones, and then they'll redo what they tried to do with the fourth one, which is pass the torch.
They'll bring in, that's where they bring in Chris Pratt or somebody else, and then somehow he gets mixed up with Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones and all this stuff, and then then it won't be Indiana Jones and the Legend of whatever, it'll be Chris Pratt and the whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
But I think don't make it be his son. They already tried that. Don't have it be his son. Don't have him be a Jones. Just have him be somebody else who gets a job at his college.
Yeah, some up and coming, like, wide-eyed archaeologist who wants to do, you know, and you're the legendary Indiana Jones, and starts bring Short Round back.
They could.
Short Round in the Legend of the Rickshaws.
And you know, that's an interesting. People kept trying to, in their mind, cast who they think would be a good Harrison Ford, which is, I'm sure, what they're doing right now with the Han Solo movie. But this would be an opportunity where it doesn't have to be a white male actor.
It could be anybody. It could be.
It could be a woman. It could be anything. And I would almost, you know, if they were to get somebody like Chris Pratt, like somebody that I'd be excited about, then sure, I'm not going to be disappointed.
No.
But it would be really exciting if they took the sensibilities of that franchise and maybe tried to beat the Tomb Raider movie to its own thing.
Well, what would be, and this isn't going to happen, but what would be interesting is if they brought whoever's going to be Lara Croft to take over for Indiana Jones, and then it just goes into Tomb Raider.
Like she was trained by Indiana Jones?
Yeah. Just bring the two franchises together.
I mean, it would be... I mean, I don't even know. That's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
I think that we both agree we're going to get an Indiana Jones movie
eventually
in the not so distant future.
Yeah.
I think that Lucasfilm is very committed to getting Star Wars up and running, the machine that it's going to be.
And once that's kind of moving, though,
I would say as soon as they're probably already having these conversations, but we'll probably really start to hear stuff after Rogue One, maybe even before.
Yeah. You don't want to take away from the Star Wars and the spotlight right now.
No, and
not that anything really could, but I mean
nor would Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, as beloved as that franchise is, and Crystal Skull did well. It made like $750 million, but it's not Star Wars.
No.
I would want to see Spielberg come back for at least that passing of the torch movie, and then maybe you truly pass it. Yeah,
it goes to somebody else. He stays on as a producer and just keeps on going.
Getting them checks.
Yeah. So the next one I've got on here... Okay, we're going to skip that one. We'll go to that one next. We got a trailer recently we should probably talk about. It's not the same one we talked about in our discussion from last week, but we got the Civil War trailer.
We did.
Captain America Civil War. It's good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Any other than it's
no, yeah.
Let's dig in a little bit.
So some of the key things about this trailer that I think got people talking is one, there was a lot of discussion about Marvel's getting serious. Winter Soldier was serious.
Yeah.
And people are like, they're taking the fun out of it and they're getting serious right as DC's getting serious. And
well, DC's always been serious.
DC's always been serious, but these conversations were happening on the internet. This feels like a true sequel to Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe them at all when they kept saying this was the third Captain America movie, and I do now.
Yeah, that was my big concern too, is this feels like Avengers 2.5 instead of Captain America, but having seen the trailer, it definitely looks like a Captain America movie.
Mm-hmm. It really does. It looks like definitely the sequel to that, the logical sequel to Winter Soldier, which is, you know, probably my favorite Marvel movie. I'm excited for it. We get our first look at Black Panther.
Yep.
We don't get our first look at Tom Holland as Spider-Man at all, or Peter Parker.
Which I'm okay with.
We also don't see Vision. We don't see, I think there's a couple other, Ant-Man.
Yeah,
a couple other
we might see
characters
Ant-Man. We don't know.
Oh, that's true. He is tiny. But I think there's a couple two standout scenes in this trailer above all others. The last part, obviously, the fight where Bucky and
that
Cap
fight, and then those last lines.
It's the last. That's my favorite part of the trailer. Is when, you know, Steve says to Tony, you know, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be doing this if I.
He's my friend. And he's like, well, so was I.
So was I. I mean,
God,
the feels, right? In our Batman v Superman discussion, trailer discussion from last week, people can find it. We said these movies always end. They fight. And they get back together for a bigger threat. Do you think that's what's going to happen?
I don't know.
Because we know that Daniel Bruhl was cast as Baron Zemo, one of the main Captain America villains. He's in this movie. He's not in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then we also know that the Crossbones character who Frank Grillo played in Winter Soldier is back. And this one he actually he looks like Crossbones in the comic, which he did not in Winter Soldier. So there are some villains in this movie. Yeah. So how do they fit into the story?
I mean, the way the way that Marvel's kind of played out in their films, which I've liked, is while they've all had their own separate things, there's always been repercussions from one movie to the next, and they, you know, as much as, I know you aren't a big fan of Iron Man 3, but a lot of that was Stark dealing with Avengers in New York and all that kind of stuff, and I think we're going to continue to see that go through, and I don't think that there necessarily will. It's not going to be everyone's happy and together again. Like, I think there's going to be some repercussions from this one, because it's not just.
Do you know the big thing that happens to Captain America at the end of the Civil War comic?
No, I don't.
Where the story goes.
Maybe I don't remember. I might know, but I don't know if I'm thinking of it. It's the right thing.
People don't. There's no point in spoiling anything about how that. First of all, I don't think the movie's going to follow the plot of the Civil War comic.
It ends with him.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to go that route or not. I'm not sure. But I think that this team is going to be in shambles by the end of this movie. And I think that it's going to definitely carry over into Infinity War Part 1.
Yeah.
And at the end of Part 1, I could see everybody kind of realizing, shit, we gotta get back together. Like, maybe they're going to
get the band back together.
The third act that you would expect from this movie, I think, will be the end of Infinity War Part 1, and then Part 2 will be everybody's back together fighting Thanos.
I mean, because at the end of Avengers Ultron, they've already established a new Avengers team.
Yes.
So if the first Avengers team is in shambles, well, that's okay. We have the new Avengers, and then you could move forward from there. But I definitely feel like it's not going to end all happy. And
do you think they truly believe that roster that we see at the end of Ultron can carry in a whole Avengers Part 1 movie? Because, I mean, it's not really just going to be them. I mean, they're going to have... I mean, they're going to cut to... Plus, we haven't even seen Doctor Strange. We haven't seen Captain Marvel yet. We haven't... You know, they're going to be part of that. But, I mean... Like,
well, you take that plus Black Panther plus Spider-Man.
Yeah, I guess all those. Maybe that is.
I don't know.
I don't. But I mean, we know that Thor and Hulk are going to be up in space together in Thor 3.
Yeah.
Are they going to make an
on their own road trip?
Are the Guardians going to be part of it? I don't know. But what we know from this trailer is it looks good for Civil War. So at one point, Batman vs Superman and this shared the exact same release date, and DC flinched and they moved back a couple months. So the fight between those two movies doesn't exist. But I'm going to ask you the fight between the trailers. Which do you prefer?
Probably the Civil War trailer. Only because I'm more invested in that franchise than I am in the DC cinematic franchise. Because I don't like Man of Steel, whereas I have liked to loved almost every Marvel film.
it's close, but I'm probably right there with you. I mean, when I saw the Civil War trailer, I mean, I watched it like 3 times. Went to work, like watched it a couple times at work. Thank God none of our bosses watched this. And then, and I've watched it a bunch of times in the couple weeks since. The Batman v Superman trailer is awesome, but I haven't felt like I have to just keep watching it. So I'll give it to Civil War 2.
Cool. All right, moving on. Next bit of news. This one's a little bit more local, but it could potentially have a bigger impact. According to the Orlando Business Journal, Universal Orlando is looking to buy more land, even has an offer in. They're looking at about a 474-acre plot just north of the convention center. And the map that I saw, it had kind of all of that area of Orlando. It had Universal up here, and then the plot, which looked even bigger than just that Universal Orlando area.
474 acres is big.
It's huge. And
that is almost 5 times Winnie the Pooh's woods.
God. This is why we do this over a beer. So this then feeds into the rumor, and this is one of the things that, an article that I was reading this in, was like, oh, maybe Universal's looking to build a 3rd park, which would corroborate the rumor a while back that they were going to do a video game themed park with Nintendo and Blizzard and whatever else they decided to do.
I mean, the idea of that is so exciting.
I know.
Right? This sounds more and more, I mean, we're an Orlando-based show. This does sound more and more believable. There's been a lot of stories about that around here in the past couple days. Would they do, I mean, part of me feels like they're just going to be like, we're a bigger park, and it's all more Harry Potter. Which is great, I love Harry Potter,
But see, they with that rumor going out, and the fact that we already know there's going to be Nintendo properties at Universal. One, we've had this discussion off camera a lot. We have no idea where they would put that.
We kept trying to be like, well, they could fit it in between these 2 bathrooms.
They could put it in the back lot, and they could put it here,
Yeah, like trying to force feed where in those parks, because honestly, those 2 parks are not very big, and there's not much land around them that's open.
But if they got this piece of land here, you could build that 3rd park plus a city, plus an extra city walk type shopping, food area, and everything else.
It would be exciting.
Yeah.
And now that the word is starting to get out on this, we'll probably hear about it soon. Not confirmation of like concept or anything necessarily, but like they're going to confirm or deny this soon. If it gets approved. If it doesn't get approved, I don't know what they do.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They have to actually, get the plot. But they've already, we've already had reports coming out of, of this ride. They're getting the Jimmy Kimmel, or is it Jimmy Fallon thing, the Fast and Furious thing. So they're already they got the Skull Island ride that they're putting in, or whatever it's going to be. So it's not like they're getting rid of stuff without telling us where they're putting. I mean, there's clearly things already going in. So that has to go. If Nintendo stuff, unless they get rid of the Marvel area, which I don't know when that ends. It has to go somewhere, and this would make the most sense. And then which would...
Do you think it would be weird to have Nintendo and Blizzard coexist as, like, that's what the park is? It's like Nintendo and Blizzard. Would that feel too random?
Not if they did it right. I mean, I think if it's more than just Nintendo... those are the 2 in that rumor. If they do more things than that, I think it would be fine.
What if, like, in a couple... like, tomorrow, because this news has gotten out, they're like, yeah, that's what it is, and people are right, it's Nintendo and Blizzard, and there's going to be a huge Warcraft area, and then next summer Warcraft bombs. And we never talked about the trailer for that on this. I think it looks stupid as hell. I think it looks awful.
I still haven't watched it. I'm having not seen the trailer, having not played Warcraft, I'm interested in it only because of Duncan Jones.
I love Duncan Jones.
I think
Moon's great, and I think Source Code is a lot of fun.
Yep.
But it'd be interesting. You gotta watch that trailer soon and
let
us know what you think. I think it looks like the worst type of fantasy movie.
Okay.
But we'll see. I mean, it's a trailer. Who knows?
Sure.
But
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment
on it. I think that movie is, the summer's already crowded enough that something's gonna bomb, and it might be Warcraft. So, if it does bomb,
I worry that it's almost missed its mark for being relevant and getting a huge.
Yeah, I know. WoW was huge for a while there, and I mean,
and it still has.
People still play it.
People still play it. I think there's a new expansion that they're talking
about.
But I think
there was a time when it was really in the public consciousness. It's like, oh, all these people are playing WoW, even if you didn't play it.
And now it's not really that.
Now it feels like something people used to do.
Yeah. Okay, so these last two we're going to kind of combine.
Okay.
Because they both deal with Nintendo.
So did that.
So did that a little bit. Yeah. We're going to Nintendo, whatever. So the first part of this is, according to a report from Digitimes, Nintendo is wanting to ship 20 million NX units by the end of 2016. That's shipped, not necessarily sold. They're looking to ship 20 million NX units. Now, to put that in perspective, the Wii U has sold 10 million, a little over 10 million units, sold 10 million units in its 3 or 4 year life cycle right now. Yeah. And the PS4 just passed 30 million units in its 2 years that it's been out. I think it just hit like the top 10 best-selling consoles, like it's number 10 right now.
I mean,
last
Nintendo
came out.
Won.
Well, that's the thing. They're doing that, and then there was a report, and the report also states that the suppliers and the components might only be able to meet demands for 10 to 12 million units. I think is what it's basically. 10 to 12.
Interesting.
Which, if this is true, and then the other thing I think that I had seen on this was they were trying to start production by Q1 of next year. Which
I believe that.
Which would
I truly believe that at E3 they're going to be like, this the system is coming out in October. I really do. And you know, I don't want to step on the toes of whatever your fifth thing might be, so I'll wait.
Okay. You want to get into that then? We'll just,
what is it?
We'll just unbox. Okay. So the thing that came out today, there was an interview with Time with Nintendo President Kimishima. I just kind of did some quotes here. I didn't get them the whole thing, but just kind of the big ones on different things. So if we want to go through them one by one, or do you want me to read them all, and then we'll just talk about the thing as a whole?
Well, let me continue what I was going to say.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
So, a couple weekends ago was Black Friday, and we had a little discussion about that. Check that video out. Find out what you didn't shop for.
Yeah.
But one of the things that came out, Target said that it was their biggest Black Friday digitally on their website that they had ever had, and the highest selling item that they had was the Wii U. I don't know if you saw that story.
Yeah.
But, and I found that really interesting that the Wii U would have sold that well, and it's great that it did. But at the same time, if that sold really well at Target, it probably also sold really well everywhere else. And if all these people are getting the Wii U this holiday season, and we're like literally just a few months from them, like here's the new system, that other one.
Well,
how do they react to this?
One of the reports I read was that I think PS4 ultimately won.
PS4, won the day.
Won the day,
but that's still a lot of Wii U moved. It sounds like.
Sure, no, absolutely.
What does Nintendo do with that?
We'll see.
Right.
Sarah, take a drink. So here's just some quotes. You want to go like subject by subject, or do you want me to just go through them all and then we'll? How do you want to do this?
I mean, I didn't see this, so I don't even know.
So the way the Time article broke it up is they kind of broke it up sort of in the same way of just like, this is what they're what he's talking about this, that there wasn't like the full, robot interview. So the first thing that I put on here was his quote that he mentioned about mobile. So Nintendo's talked for years about increasing the gaming population, but to further that goal, we want to increase the population who has access to Nintendo's IP first and foremost. Of course, the smart device business is not a simple business; it is a highly competitive business. And so, for us to take our IP and drop it into the smart device business is that existing red ocean, I believe, would not be a very successful strategy to take. So essentially, kind of what we've already seen is they don't just want to go, here's Mario and Super Mario World on your smartphones, go enjoy. Like, they're really trying to put thought into how they roll this stuff out.
I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not even in a wait and see on that first mobile game. What is it?
Miitomo. And there was a quote on that. I don't think I wrote it down on this thing. What he mentioned is
I think that's a stupid first approach for them.
I don't know if it is, though. See, I kind of disagree, because what it's doing, what it says to me is that and I don't know if I put that on here either. There's a lot of talk, no, I did put that on here. There's a lot of talk in the article about Nintendo account and all that kind of stuff. And it sounds like, from what Mitomo seems like, it's the beginning of them laying the groundwork for what their ecosystem is going to be. Connecting their smartphone devices with whatever your system is, with whatever everything else is. It's all going to be... It's the same way, you know, I'm primarily, between Xbox and PlayStation, I'm primarily a PlayStation player. I can go from my Vita to my PS3 to my PS4, and it's all one ecosystem, and all my things are in one place and everything like that. Right. And I think Nintendo is laying that groundwork to try to do something competitive to that. Mm-hmm. And really, because that's been the problem for a lot of people is Nintendo's ecosystem. Mm-hmm. Is that if there's not really a cross-buy, there's you buy the game, you get a download code for the other one. Like, it doesn't just recognize it. You have to, and there's friend codes and there's all this other stuff, and I feel like this is sort
of... Friend codes are the worst thing.
It's terrible. He mentions what the NX isn't going to be. Okay. So as far as NX goes, I've said it's different and obviously a new experience. If you look back to the beginning of our conversation today, we talked about the transition from Wii hardware to Wii U hardware and how difficult it is to explain to the consumer base what is different and new about the new hardware. It's difficult to convince them to switch from their current platform to the next platform. That being said, I can assure you we're not building the new version of Wii or Wii U. It's something unique and different. It's something that we have to move away from these platforms in order to make it something that will appeal to our consumer base. So while it doesn't, it's
not going to be a Wii. It's not going to be a Wii U.
Yeah.
He didn't roll out like a pleasure device.
No, but I mean, it sounds like they're. I'm bringing this out because I want to mention an article that I was read that just came up today. A patent just showed up that Nintendo filed. So here's kind of what it says for the patent, and this kind of goes in a little bit too. A supplemental computing device configured to detachably couple to the game console via physical communication interface. A supplemental computing device compromising one of them, whatever. So basically, what that goes into is it sounds like the hybrid that's been long rumored. The hybrid between having a handheld and a home console that you can connect or you can take on the go, and it seems to be going in that direction. So what his quote here says to me is they've learned their mistakes from trying to here's Wii U, here's this, we're building off of this to really kind of take something in a new direction.
If the Wii U had been called NX, would it have moved at least 5 million more?
Probably.
What a fucking mistake. Like, unbelievable that nobody realized how big of a mistake that
was.
Well,
I mean, as soon as that happened, all the people were like,
there are still people who don't know it's not in use. It's a different system.
It's like, it's an extra controller for my
Wii? Literally.
There are people. And that was, that's the big, they had the same thing, which I don't know why they did this for their 3DSs instead of just 3DS Advance or Super 3. No, it's the Nintendo, it's the new 3DS. Well, am I buying a brand new 3DS or am I getting a new?
It's crazy that they did that after the Wii U failure. Like, who runs
if they had called it something else, I think it would have done much better.
I think from
that much better, but it would have been.
From that perspective, it is great that Nintendo has a business guy in place right now.
So the next quote I have on here, it's kind of introducing from the Wii U. What I want to do, I think our first job right now is to make sure that the customers, those 10 million customers who have a Wii U at home, have software to play. And we need to make sure that they are satisfied with their purchase and continue to enjoy playing on this platform. So we can't just abandon them and say, hey, it's time to move on to the next thing. Of course, we are working on NX and looking at the experiences we can bring to that platform, but first our job at this point is to support the customers, the consumers who have purchased Wii U, and make sure they have software experiences available to them. So that further confirms, for me, Zelda Wii U, and Wii U isn't necessarily going to be dead yet. I mean, there's still support of the Wii well into the Wii U's life cycle, or at least probably a year or so into the Wii U.
Yeah, but the result... Again, there was a much bigger install base.
Sure. But I like this, assuming it's true that they're not just going to say, well, thanks for being our last hardcore fans, screw you, we're out.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I mean, do you have any, like, alright, so maybe it's going to be a handheld device that connects to your television in a true way. What are your expectations beyond that? Is it going to be a handheld device that's as powerful as an Xbox One or PS4? What are we dealing with here?
Yeah, I mean...
And when are we going to start getting real answers?
Well,
Not until E3?
Probably. Well, I mean, if you look at the way handhelds have gone, handhelds in general, not just Nintendo, but, you know, when the Vita came out, it was very much... It wasn't a handheld in the same way Nintendo's handhelds, or everyone can have this. It was very much a luxury kind of device. It was expensive, and the whole idea was it's a console experience on the go. Whether or not it fully matched that, you know, is debatable. But if they're take that technology from that and can progress it further, you could get potentially a... Because, I mean, if you look at Nintendo's games on the Wii U, they run great, they look great, and that's not as powerful as the consoles that we currently have. So if they can somehow get that into a handheld along with, you know, whatever the actual system is, which it's supposed to have industry-leading chips, whatever that means, whatever you want to take that to mean. I don't know.
Exciting time.
Yeah.
We're both Nintendo fans. I want to see them succeed. Beyond succeeding creatively. I want always that, but it's kind of like they don't, I mean, they're a billion-dollar company.
Sure.
Like, it's not like they need me to like want good things for them, but
no.
I felt disappointed in like life when the Wii U failed commercially. Like I was just like, I feel so bad for Nintendo. Like I just want them to do well.
Yeah.
And they don't need that. They've been around for 100 years.
But the problem with them is they. It seems like they're learning from their mistakes. They're trying to fix it, but some of the decisions that they make, it's just, why would you call it the Wii U?
That's stupid.
That.
I mean, it's.
I mean, and I love I out of everything, that's probably gotten the most play out of all 3 next-gen systems. My Wii U's probably been played the most. But
yeah,
they gotta.
So we're gonna find out about this soon.
If you want to see the whole thing, there's a couple more quotes out here. But if you guys want to see the whole thing, just Google Nintendo President Times article, and you
just
can
type in words and you'll get.
Yeah, just type in a bunch of words and just whatever randomly, and the Nintendo thing will probably pop up somewhere in there. But yeah, that's our top 5.
That was a good top 5. That was a big top 5.
That was a big top 5.
Couple things we should mention
Okay.
before we even wrap up.
Sure.
We're drinking some beer.
We are drinking beer. We didn't mention that this time.
We did not mention it. So we're
drinking different beers
a little
today.
laid back. Yeah, different beers. Just a couple Sam Adams seasonals.
Yeah.
We got going on here. You're drinking
the Sam Adams Winter Lager.
Mm-hmm.
Little Sam Adams.
It is winter. I mean, we're in Orlando.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
We got our jackets on.
A little chilly today.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking the Sam Adams Old Fizzywig Ale.
How's that?
I don't know what a Fizzywig is, but it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it tastes like beer. It's explained as having roasted caramel and chocolate malts. And
I've got orange peel, cinnamon, and ginger.
There you go. The other thing, for the entire month of December, each episode we have somewhere around us a little hidden Santa Claus, and so every episode you can try and spot Santa Claus for the holidays.
So let us know if you see the Santa.
Yeah, if you spot him, you know.
We'll like your comment. We'll retweet your tweet if you find it. We'll give you a virtual high five.
Yeah. Hashtag Where's That Santa?
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna wrap up this episode. So where can they find more of us on the internet?
You can find both of us on Twitter at channels on Twitter at OABeer_official. I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
You can email us at overabeerofficial@gmail.com, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. I would love to give you a YouTube URL, but I can't. We don't have one yet. And why is that, you ask? Because we don't have 100 subscribers. So, if you like what you're seeing and want to see more, please share us with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Once we hit those 100 subscribers, we can have our own YouTube URL. And I'll have that right here at the bottom of the screen, wherever my hand is. It'll say youtube.com/whatever.
I don't know what that was.
I guess, yeah, we're just going to end it there. That's going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys next time.